this is David. Welcome back behind the velvet rope. Let's just get right into it today because we are joined by the one, the only Miss Shereé Whitfield.
Hey.
What is going on? How are you? How's life in Atlanta today?
Life in Atlanta is amazing. I'm great. I'm living my best life and just enjoying what God has blessed me with, you know?
Well, listen, I mean, I should say like, welcome behind the velvet rope. I really should say, welcome back. Welcome back, Shereé. I mean, listen, you've come, you've gone, you've come, you've gone, now you're back. So, I mean, I want to start with the first question of just like, why now? Like, why was now the time for, Shereé Whitfield to step back and claim her peach?
You know what? I feel like right now I was in a good place. Mentally, physically, emotionally, and why not? They've asked me previously before, but I just didn't really feel like it was the right time for me. But I didn't have a lot of, drama or negativity going on in my life. And I was like really in a happy place. So why not? I love, when I can come in and, and enjoy the ladies and when it's fun. I do have great times with these ladies.
Listen, the bone collector is back in the building, ladies and gentlemen. So, I mean, listen, it's been around 4 years since you were here last. Like, does it feel different? Like, does Housewives feel like it's changed since you were here last?
You know what? So I always say this, that when I'm not on the show, I don't watch the show. However, of course, I surround myself with a bunch of people who are still very loyal to the show, and I have no issue with that. But I listen to, all of their complaints and, the things that they would talk about. And it was just not good, not good. So for me, getting back to Housewives season 14, it's a different energy. It's a completely different energy. From the girls, from, everything that, everyone has going on. It almost takes me back to, being as an original, being on the show years ago when we first started out and we were able to laugh together, have fun. We were really, we have a good old kiki. We can have, enjoy each other, but, we're not always going to get along, and that's okay. But we're able to move past, a lot of things and, keep it moving, keep it going,
What did you hear like from your friends in your group, throughout the years that you weren't on? Like, what was the one thing they said like wasn't good or needed to be fixed? Or
well, it was more than one thing, but I can narrow it down to a few things. It just wasn't authentic. They felt like, the storylines were a lot of them were made up. They weren't really being completely transparent with, with their real lives. They also talked about that, all the girls did was get together to fight. I mean, in friend groups, sometimes you will have disagreements with people in your friend group, and that's understandable. But when that's all it's basically is that you guys get together to fight, that's an issue. And it just didn't seem like the girls were genuinely friends or really liked each other.
That makes a lot of sense. Did you have any reservations in going back?
Well, when I talked to the higher ups, that was something that I voiced to them. That, I'm not really interested in, going back to something that's just so draining, so negative. So, it's just very toxic. I think we need to, have a group of girls, take it back to what it used to be, where we can enjoy each other, but we can also, we're strong-minded women. We're still going to speak our minds. We're going to stand up for what we believe in, and that's okay. And they were in agreement. They, felt like, yeah, it should go back to the concept of what it originated as.
Right. It's like, let's have some fun. And of course there is drama that comes along with that, but let's have some fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And be completely transparent.
And authentic, like you said. Well, listen, we are in a new season 14. There is a little bit of drama we've seen. I mean, you and Drew, you guys seem to have come right out of the gate with some drama. Like, what is it about Drew?
You need to ask Drew, what is it about Shereé, honey? I didn't have an issue with Drew. I didn't know Drew. Drew came from me and she started just making up storylines like this. She wanted to divert from the atrocity or the humiliation or embarrassment that her husband was giving her on TV. So she wanted to divert from that and come up with this story that, oh my gosh, you know what? my battery's about to die on my computer. I'm not.
Do you
Okay,
want to plug it in?
Yeah.
You could.
Gosh, hold on. Let me call.
It's better than dying.
Yeah, it's so much better than dying. Oh my gosh, I was mid-sentence. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if my son is still here. Oh, I am so sorry.
Listen, if you want to have a guest appearance by Cairo, I'm not going to argue with that. Honey, I'm not going to argue with that at all. I'll just sit here and mind my own business.
Let's see. Just in the kitchen when I was up there. Let's see. You know, these kids these days, they don't always answer the phone. I'm like, Cairo, if I'm calling you, I need you to pick up. But I just heard the door open, so he may have left.
Listen, I mean,
Cairo, can you please, are you still here? Can you go get my charger, the computer charger? It's in the wall in my bedroom, and just bring it down real quick because my computer is about to die. Thanks.
we can't have your computer dying during this
No.
chat.
We cannot.
If it does, we'll figure it out and then you can come back on. But hopefully Cairo will be here before that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I can't remember. What was I saying?
So Drew came up with this whole, that, her assistant Anthony, also was your assistant and you didn't pay him.
Yeah, that whole lie. Anthony was never my assistant. And when you watch the show back, Anthony never said he was my assistant. He never said that. Those words never came out of his mouth. And then for her to say, oh, he was her assistant for 3 years and she never paid him. I mean, like, who's dumb enough to work for somebody for 3 years and not get paid? Like, seriously, like you're just trying to feed into a narrative that was out there previously. But listen, I would not have all of these blessings on my life had I had debt on it, had I owed people. I don't do people like that. And that's just not me. Now, the only thing I can think of is that she was really needing to try to change her narrative of the shit show between her and her husband. Thank you, Cairo. Wait, do we need an extension cord? Cairo to the rescue.
Listen, Cairo solves all, right?
Are you want to say hi? Can you say hi?
He can say hi. I'm not going to argue.
Come on, you got your help.
You could say hi, Cairo.
Yes, just say hey.
How y'all doing?
How are you? Thank you for bringing the charger.
No problem.
As I turn bright red. I'm like with Andy Cohen as far as Cairo is concerned. Let's just say that. So we'll just leave it at that, Shereé. So you think Drew made up you think it's just all fabricated of like, this is embarrassing that my husband and I are going through this on TV and let me just throw something against the wall to get the heat off me.
Yeah, and then, I mean, who better to come for it than, but the queen, the OG, like, really?